Well, as you might have guessed, today we're bringing Huggy Wuggy to life through the power of cinema. Hey everyone, my name is Alexander Griffin and I'm the owner, CEO, and creative director of Dreamcorder Productions. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what we do on this channel. Normally I post short films, I post filmmaking your demo videos, and the occasional game playthrough. But today, this is going to be a filmmaking tutorial video. If you're a fan of the game Poppy Playtime, then this video is for you. But if you are not familiar with the game, here's a Cliff Notes version. Poppy Playtime is an episodic indie horror game created by Mob Games. This game series follows an ex-employee of Playtime Co., an abandoned toy factory, as they return to the factory 10 years after everyone within supposedly disappeared. And within, you find a bunch of scares, including this guy, Huggy Wuggy, the company mascot. So I was able to get this doll off of the official Poppy Playtime store, which I'll leave in the description below. When I first saw this doll on the website, I asked myself how I could actually make a shot from Poppy Playtime in real life. And that is what we're gonna do right now. Specifically, this shot that I looked at in my own playthrough of Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. In that video, I described what I believe would be the best way to set up that shot as such.
Ambient light around Huggy, a brighter key light, fill light from the back, wide angle lens, ISO 400 or so, f2, f1.4, maybe a little bit more than f2, but something like that.
So let's see if I was right.
So here's the game plan. While I don't have access to an entire abandoned toy factory, for the sake of available resources, I'll be using a black cloth backdrop with Huggy in the middle and his arm raised in the signature high five position. I'll have at least 2, maybe even 3 lights coming out from behind Huggy and to his left, to us our right, and a reflector in front of Huggy and to his right, to us our left. And to capture it all is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. So here's the shot I have set up. I have the black backdrop all hung up and ready to go and Huggy in the center. He's being held up on a stand for another childhood toy I had, and his hand is being held up by a lanyard holder tethered to a beam above. The light behind Huggy is coming from my very own Chauvet DJ 4-bar LTBT lighting fixture, controlled via DMX by the Chauvet Obey 40 console. On the floor right now is a silver reflector to give Huggy some of that ambient light, but it will be manually handled when we take the shot. Now I set up the camera for this shot at 24 frames per second and a 48th shutter speed as usual. However, after metering the shot, I figured out I'd need an ISO of 100 and an f-stop of 9.3. Already a drastic difference. But keep in mind, it's partly dependent on the background. I didn't want it to look like there was a massive curtain behind Huggy, so in this case, your results may vary. Anyway, we're also using a white balance of 4500K with a tint of 15. I used my Canon EFS 18-55mm lens on my Blackmagic camera with a focal length of approximately 25mm. Okay, so those are the specs of the shot itself. Now to frame it up. This is between a medium and a full shot. I've made sure Huggy was mostly in the frame, but not so much that you'd be able to see the stand underneath him or the lanyard holder keeping his arm raised. I set up the lights on the 4-bar LTBT so that they're pointing down at Huggy with about a 45-degree angle. That was the optimal angle, given I would manually control the reflector on the floor to give him ambient light. However, unlike the original shot, I had an idea not to reveal Huggy all at once. Instead, I used the Obey 40 to fade the backlights up, showing a distinct outline of his fur. Then, I came in with a reflector after the lights faded up from black to reveal the rest of Huggy's body with ambient light. Then in post, I took the Blackmagic RAW files into Adobe Premiere Pro and customized the color profile to make the overall scene darker and to bring out Huggy's highlights. Neutralizing the overwhelming blue in the scene, I added some extra green and orange tints, up the exposure, the saturation, the temperature, and the contrast. Afterwards, just as a precautionary measure, I added a mask around the camera trolley to hide what was holding Huggy's arm up. Finally, I edited when the reflector came in just after Huggy's initial reveal with a backlight, added a crossfade between the two, nested the entire sequence, and added a zoom with an ease in and ease out keyframe. Tack on some scary sound effects and risers, and you've got a real-life Huggy Wuggy.
So looking back at the footage now, I love the result. It's so awesome. This guy looks menacing as heck. Please feel free to try this at home for yourself. Experiment with how you can make Huggy look with lighting, with framing, with focal lengths, all of that stuff. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. Well, that does it for this video with Poppy Playtime Chapter 1. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and comment down below. Also, please hit subscribe and hit the gray bell icon so you get notified whenever Dreamcorder Productions posts a new video. Again, thank you very much for watching. My name is Alexander Griffin, and I will see you next time.